Hey everybody, it's Angie Atkinson. This story is what would have happened if Robert Munsch had been a female and his mother had been a narcissist. This story is about living and breaking the narcissistic abuse cycle. Okay? So, let's get started. We're calling the story Loathe You Forever, and it's a bedtime story nobody wants to hear. Here we go. A narcissistic mother held her new baby girl and very slowly rocked her back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And while she rocked her, she said, "My life's still my life now. You're just like a little me. As long as I'm living, an extension of me you'll be." That baby grew. She grew and she grew and she grew. She grew until she was 2 years old, and she ran all around the house. She took all the father's attention away from the mother, she took all the smiles from strangers, and she took her mother's favorite things and flushed them down the toilet. Sometimes her mother would scream, "What is wrong with you? Why are you doing this to me?" But at night time, when that 2-year-old was quiet and there was someone to watch her do it, that mother opened the door to her room, crawled across the floor, looked up over the side of the bed, and if she was really asleep, she pinched her real hard to wake her up. Then, when someone commented on what a good mother she was, she rocked that little supply back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. While she rocked her, she sang, "I'll love you when someone's watching. I'll like you when someone sees me. As long as I'm living, under my control you'll be." That little girl grew. She grew and she grew and she grew. She grew until she was 9 years old. And she got treated like she never mattered. She never got to have an opinion, and when Grandma visited, she had to act totally perfect. But her mother took her to the doctor and complained that something was wrong with her. So he gave the girl a new kind of medicine to keep her calmer. But at night time, when that little girl was asleep, the mother quietly opened the door to her room, crawled across the floor, and looked up over the side of her bed. And if she was really asleep, well, that mother snuck right back out the door and went out on the town to meet her girlfriends. While she drove there, she sang, "I'll put me first forever. It's me first for always. As long as I'm living, my first priority I'll be." That girl grew. She grew and she grew and she grew. She grew until she was a teenager. Her mother hated it. She'd grown boobs and hips, and she hated all her friends, too. She made the teenager wear weird clothes, and she chose the music she could hear. Sometimes she'd scream, "This kid is an embarrassment. Obviously, she's going to turn out to be nothing." But at night time, when that teenager was asleep, the mother crept into her room, crawled across the floor, and went through her stuff. And if she was really asleep, she'd pick up her daughter's phone and very slowly swipe back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And while she read all her messages and emails, she seethed, "I'll be jealous of you forever. I'll be envious for always. As long as I'm living, my competition you'll be." That teenager grew. She grew and she grew and she grew. She grew until she was a grown-up woman. She left home and she got a house across town. But sometimes on dark nights, well, the mother, she got in her car and she drove across town. If all the lights in her daughter's house were out, she opened her bedroom window, crawled across the floor, and looked up over the side of her bed. If that grown-ass woman was really asleep, that mother picked up her phone and very slowly she'd swipe back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And while she invaded her adult daughter's privacy, she sang, "I'll own you forever. I'll control you for always. As long as I'm living, my narcissistic supply you will be." Well, one day that daughter, she just had about enough of that. And one day she said, "Mom, I can't talk to you anymore." She didn't call her. She didn't text. She blocked her on all the social media platforms. She went straight up no contact, and guess what? She wasn't ever happier in her life. Sometimes, when she thought no one was looking, she found herself wishing her mom could be normal, that she could love her like a good mom would. She sang this song, "I'll feel inadequate forever. I'll try to please you for always. As long as I'm living, in your shadow I'll be." Well, that mother, she got meaner. She got meaner and meaner and meaner. She got so mean that she found herself all alone all the time. She pushed everyone away. One day she called up her daughter and said, "You'd better come see me because I'm not getting enough attention." So, against her better judgment, her daughter came to see her. When the daughter walked in the door, the mother began to sing a song. She sang, "You won't ever be good enough, and that's all your fault. As long as I'm living, my problem you'll be." But she couldn't finish it because no one was listening. The daughter, she'd finally had it. She disappeared out the door and bounced back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. The further she went away from her mother, her confidence soared even higher. As her confidence soared, she sang this song: "I'll love me forever. I'll like me for always. You'll never be able to hurt me, not ever again." When the daughter came home that night, she stood for a long time at the top of the stairs. And then she went into the room where her very new baby daughter was sleeping. She picked her up in her arms, and she very slowly rocked her back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And while she rocked her, she sang, "I'll love you forever. I'll like you for always. As long as I'm living, your own person you'll be." It's my mission to teach others what I know to be true. You really can create the life you want. Take care of your body, take care of your soul, nurture the real you, and introduce him or her to the world. Be comfortable in your own skin and in your place in this world. Take your spot, take it now, and the universe will take its cue from you. You feel me? If so, subscribe to my channel. Let's get it done together.